Hey, it is Melissa here from Sincerely Creative Mom. We are going to use our 10-inch pancake frame to make a wreath today. It is a patent pending frame, especially for the pancake style wreath design. This one is the 10-inch frame though, so it's a little different. We're actually, even though this has 12 pieces, 12 holes or spots for pipe cleaners, we're actually only going to use 6. So we're going to use half the amount of mesh on this one, and it's going to be so pretty. It's going to be so big. We're going to turn this 10-inch frame into a 23-inch wreath, and I can't wait for you to see how to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pipe cleaners and we're going to add them to the outside here, right through the outside. So right through the hole, over through the notch, nice and tight, so you don't have to worry about or think about where you're going. You just go right to the hole that matches the notch that's on the outside and put your pipe cleaner right in there. So super easy. Now, although you can use those inner holes, those inner notches for more material, we're just not going to do that. I found a way, you know me and my budget, I found a way that works perfectly. It's beautiful. You would never know. And it's very cost friendly, budget friendly for yourself and your customer. So that's all we're going to do for the pipe cleaners. And then from here, we're going to take our mesh. So I pre-cut everything just so that this video goes a little quicker. And the mesh is cut 20 inches long. So pancake style has 20-inch ruffles. However, normally the pancake wreath has 12 of these cuts, and this one only has 6. And also, so for the 10-inch frame, for this design, we're, instead of ruffling right up the center, we're going to go just to the right a little bit. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go right just to the right. So we're going to go not up the center, we're going to go slightly to the right, and we're going to ruffle it up there. So not straight up the center, slightly to the right. I'm just going to ruffle it just to the right of that red line. So it's going to be very lopsided. It's totally okay. So this side's going to have a big side and this side's going to have a little side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right in there, nice and big, so that that long edge goes out towards the outside, nice and tight. So this nice big here, I'm just going to overlap it, just like kind of like I would for a pancake style, and bring that all the way. So this really sticks out pretty far over there, and this will kind of help keep it in place. So we're going to do the same thing all the way around. Again, I'm just going to ruffle right to the right, about, let's say, 1.5 inches to the right. So it's not dead center. I'm going to put it right in there. Now it's going right on the top of the first piece. So we're layering here kind of a little bit, nice and tight. Make sure that that's in there real tight so it stays put. So this just kind of helps, although you're not going to see that frame at all, but look at that, does just really nicely kind of starts to flow into like almost, it's going to be one big circle there. So I'm going to go straight up. I got little pieces of glue on that table that I'm overlapping. It's fun. Okay, keep right in there. So, you know, I didn't want the 10-inch frame to go unnoticed or go unused, of course. The pancake frame comes in a set. So it is the 14-inch plus the 10-inch together. If you're looking for the frames itself, you can find them at thepancakeframe.com, thepancakeframe.com. Again, it comes in a set, and I didn't want the 10-inch to go unused or unwanted because, you know, we're not really used to using 10-inch frames, and the whole idea of the wreaths are to be nice and big. So I'm like, how can we take that 10-inch frame and just give it a bigger presence. And this was definitely the answer. We're going to put a nice 10-inch sign in the center so it will hide this going on here in the center. And the ribbon is going to hide this little piece right here. But it is turning in. You can see it extends it nice and wide. It's going to be so pretty. Nice and flat, of course, to fit between the doors, the storm doors. And, you know, not only that doesn't have to be the only place it goes, of course. It could go anywhere. But that is why the pancake wreath design was created, to fit nice and slim between doors. This is just so cute. Now, I did take the first 6 pieces that I cut off of that roll, and that's mostly because you could see it. It's nice and kind of expands nice, and I don't have to kind of worry about it crinkling up because it was closer to the center of the roll. So if you can, if you're going to make the 10-inch wreaths, try to use what comes off the roll first. And then also, by the way, if you are using the 10-inch, I'm sorry, yeah, 10-inch mesh, it comes usually on a 10-yard roll. After you cut your first 6 pieces for your 10-inch frame, you'll also have enough pieces, enough mesh left to make the regular pancake style, which is on the 14-inch frame, which comes again as a package here. Now look, so pretty, nice and wide. We brought this out to 23 inches, and we're going to make it look super cute by adding the ribbon. The ribbon I chose, so here's our sign. The ribbon I chose was a flag. This is a real navy, right? It's not that bright royal. It's a navy. So I went with the flag ribbon. It's a 4-inch, so a little different. I wanted still, without using more ribbon, I wanted a nice big presence of ribbon. 4-inch, check that off the list. Perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. So I cut them, actually, I used my trusty dusty ribbon board here. This came from woodcandlebase.com, our friend Carrie over at Hot Mesh Mom. She's super sweet. I took my ribbon and kind of scrolled it around here, right? I did it, so I needed 6, I needed 12. I went around 12 times. So that gave me, it's 8 inches plus 8 inches, so it's 16, but there's a little bit more here on the end, so it makes it a little bit more than 16 inches. And after I cut it, well, it's dead on 16 inches. So between 16 and 17 inches is what I was looking for. Anyway, so I'm going to take that now. I am going to make sure that I put them all the same way when I put them in, so that the stripes are all in the same pattern, right? Or so that the stripes and the stars are in the same pattern. So I don't want to put one in, you know, I don't want to put one in this way, right, where the stars are kind of on the inside, and then one like this where the stars are on the outside. That would mean that they'd end up touching each other, and we don't want that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put the stars on the outside. We're going to put the mesh, we're going to put the ribbon in first before the sign. So I'm going to put them in that, like scrunch it, put them together, scrunch it. I'm going to put them right down on that pipe cleaner, right all the way down to the center. Make sure it's nice and tight in there. Crisscross, nice and tight. Twist, 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 twist. Now, just for teaching's sake, I am going to cut these off, and I'm just going to push them in the middle. They're going to end up underneath that sign, so I don't have to worry about cutting them off. So I'm just going to go like this, pull that through. So we have stripe, stars, plaid. So it's going to look like there's 3 ribbons in here, but really there's only 2. Stripes, stars, plaid. Super. Oh, no, well, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to. It's okay. It's okay. It's still going to look super cute, right? We have the plaid in the center. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's totally fine. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing and always put the stripes kind of facing out. So scrunch it up the center, right in there. Now I like to fold it so that it is facing out towards me, so that when I tighten it in there, it already kind of has a shape that it feels like it's got to take, right? So I, nice and tight. Same thing, I'm going to pull that off. Just like that. There we go, okay? So we're going to keep going all the way around. So I'm going to take that ribbon, scrunch, 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 face it out all the way towards me, put it in there nice and tight. Tight, 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 tight. Now, when you're making them, I'm making them without the camera. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I like to just put in all the ribbons first and then cut it off, and you know, it goes a little quicker, I think, sometimes that way. But you see now how this is definitely filling up quite nice with ribbon, so you don't have to worry about it looking, you know, like it is a small wreath. We're going to make it appear to be a nice big wreath. Not even appear. I mean, it is going to be a nice big wreath. I mean, 23, 24 inches wide. That's just perfect. Pull those apart. Definitely pull those apart so that it can really spread in there and kind of go exactly how you want it to be. So pretty. Now, with the ribbon, if I'm going to use the ribbon on just this style, okay, just this style, I can make three whole wreaths just like this out of this roll of ribbon and this roll of ribbon. So there's enough there that I can get 3 whole wreaths out of it. Now you're starting to really see how that is budget friendly. And if you're gonna use the mesh, of course, you can get 3, right? So this is gonna really make multiples a lot easier. If you're gonna make multiples, obviously to make 3, you need 3 of the frames, 3 of the signs, 1 roll of this ribbon, 1 roll of this ribbon, 1 roll of mesh. Now you're seeing definitely a nice budget saver. Now, what I would suggest is, and how I would do it, is if this sells, so if I make this and it sells quickly, so I'm going to definitely take it over to the boutique, and if it sells quickly, I'll also list it on Etsy, but if it sells quickly, I will definitely order more of the signs, set the ribbon aside, and then when the signs come in, I will make another one, take it over to the boutique again, and list them on Etsy. But I'll list the one I create plus the one I can still make with what's left. So I'll have 2, making it a multiple to sell on Etsy. You know, Etsy loves those multiples when they can sell more than one. So it will definitely be a win-win. Nice and full here. Look at how wide that took our 10-inch frame out to 24 inches now. Totally love it. Now we have the center. Look at how perfect. How perfect is that? I totally love it. We're going to go ahead and use our little hole puncher here, and we're going to put 2 holes in the side. To add our wire. So I'm putting it right in the black so it kind of, you know, masks it. I'm going to take our 22 gauge wire and just fish that through on both sides. If you're looking for signs from Jane's Front Door Decor, you can find them at on Etsy, Jane's Front Door Decor, Jane's with an S. And if you use the code sincerely and the number 10, sincerely 10, you get 10% off your order. So nice little perk there for shopping with Jane. Now we have no top or bottom, no. You can put this in any way you want because the mesh, or sorry, the ribbon. You know, there's no top or bottom on the ribbon itself. So we're going to put it right nice and secure, right in that center. And what I'm going to do is just take the wire and go right through the mesh to through the frame, around the frame. I'm going to put one in. I'm going to put one in so it goes on the inside of the frame and one in so it goes around the outside of the frame. And how I did that is I just put both pieces right through here, but then I sifted that other piece through or underneath the frame so that it could come out the other side. Now I'm just going to take and use that notch as our little spot to kind of hold our sign. I'm going to cut off the excess here because clearly we don't need them that long. I wouldn't suggest cutting it beforehand. The long pieces make it very easy to sift it through, right? It makes it very easy to do that. So I wouldn't cut that off beforehand. So again, I'm going right into the inside, going through that scrunched up mesh sometimes can be fun, right? Okay, and then I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to go through the mesh, but kind of sift it. I don't know what other word I can use, but just kind of weed it through. Sew it through so it comes, so I'm bringing it, you see, between, it came in up underneath here and I pulled it out this way. I'm going to use that little notch there to help us. Before I do, I want to kind of make sure that we are in place on the other side before I really pull that tight, and it is nice. Okay, see, having them long, they come in a pack like this. I buy them from Hobby Lobby, and again, they are the 22 gauge. They're real nice and thin, so they're easy to work with. Excuse me, but they're nice and strong, obviously. So then I just cut that off there. One thing I also started doing with these frames, with the pancake frames, is I started adding a hook. So my customer has something to hook it on. Sometimes where you want them to hook it is kind of right here, right? It's, you know, it's right dead center. So having a hook on there really helps for the customer. So here, for example, we have this so pretty, and I want that center to be right there. I want it to be right there. So I'm going to just flip this over before we go any further. And so right here I want it to be. And I'm going to take our pipe cleaner and just run it underneath here. Okay, just like that. I'm going to tie it or twist it. And then I'm going to keep this piece here underneath. But I'm going to use that little notch to help keep us in place. So here we have them where they're definitely know where to hang, right? And then if we want, we can totally add a nice little bow, which of course we're going to. I went with something that wasn't going to kind of clash. I just went with a solid red and a solid more easy patterns. So not competing with the flag or the plaid in here. So we're gonna just nice little easy bow. It's gonna come right off here. Right off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and just nice little, not big, just one little loop there. Twist and another little loop. Pinch. Twist. One more. So now of course adding the ribbon or the mesh, the bow, this is getting there. Of course, adding the bow makes it a little bit thicker, which is something you don't have to do. I don't know where my easy bow maker is, so I'm just going to use that to hold it for a second. Go, and then I'm just going to add this on. Now this bow has 3 loops and 2 tails per color. Again, if you need it to be real thin, don't add the bow or add a very, very small bow. So I'm going to make sure my 2 loops, so there's 2 loops here, I'm going to make sure my other 2 loops are opposite of those 2 loops. So I'm just going to put that on there, take this off, and then I am going to use a pipe cleaner. Nice and tight. Clip off the ends, still doing those dovetails to make it look real pretty on the ends. And fluff it. So I'm going to bring this straight up to the top. Kind of hides it. And then this is a little folded here, so I'm going to make sure I unfold that so it does what I want it to. Super cute here. I'm just pulling those so they're going in between all that color. So this is going to go over here, and that's going to go over there. It's a super cute little bow. Here we go. And then we're going to add it to the right down here. So it's going to come, this where it's placed is going to be just off that where the frame is. So I want to take it and slide this pipe cleaner around the inside of that frame. This is going to hug the outside, and so even though it's going to sit right here, I still need it to be attached to the frame. If I go through this mesh right here, there's no frame there. It's just right underneath the sign. So I need to just do that. It's going to be a little tricky because we have the layers of mesh. I want it to go through the mesh so it stays where I want it to, right? And then, so it's coming right through here, but I need it to go in there. So I'm going to pull that through, slide it in. Here we go. So that's the one. Now I got to get that other side through. And that's going to kind of go, and I don't want to move the mesh out of the way. I want the mesh to stay right where it is. See, I'm going to squish the bow, but it's okay. So now I have it holding on to something and in place. I'm going to use that nice little notch there to hold on to it so it won't move or slide. And of course, tuck that baby in. Now we have a nice thin wreath. Okay, nice thin wreath here. But super stinking cute. Just really cute. Really clean looking. Really cute. Adorable. Y'all, thank you for watching. I hope that you are enjoying your 10-inch frames. I know that they are still shipping every single day to get caught up on orders. And then as soon as we have more in stock, they will be open. So make sure you're on the wait list. Go to thepancakeframe.com. That will bring you directly to the listing of our frames. Again, they are patent pending. Super special to me. Damon and I worked really hard to put those together, and we're really excited for them. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you can see. Now this, you could totally put in one of the, so this is the 10-inch sign. You could totally put in the larger, right? You can put in the, what is it, 12, 11, 11.75 inch. You could totally do that, and it would look really nice. It would not look disproportionate at all. But you need at least the 10-inch because that's going to cover those pipe cleaners, which you do definitely want to be covered. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, on the 10-inch frame, super proud of it. Super thin, super easy, very, very budget friendly, extremely budget friendly for yourself and for your customer. Also, you know, very thin to fit between the storm door and the main door should they choose. Y'all, thank you very much for watching. Again, it's Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. Also, we talked a lot during this video, and we're still under 26 minutes. So, you know, without that second layer, your time and your production is going to go much faster. Also, like we talked about earlier about doing multiples, if you had 3 of the signs and you were going to make 3 of these, just go ahead and cut up all your ribbon all the same time. Just cut it up, do all the dovetails, put them together in the nice little bundles that I do, so you can just boom, 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 get them all done. It would be so much faster if you do it that way. Anyway, I hope you are following and subscribed. All those things. Can't wait to see you again. Until next time, bye y'all.